Jesus does a very interesting thing. He sits down because it's Eastern culture, and that's the posture of a teacher. It says Jesus sat down, and then he called the group in to huddle because he's got something important to say. Now, in our culture, Western culture, I'd do the opposite. If I had something really important to say, I'd stand up and I'd go, hey, come here, everyone, gather around. Jesus, he sits down and he calls them in, and all of a sudden, this is not a casual conversation. Jesus is about to make a pronouncement. What he is about to say is very important, and they desperately need to hear it. And so verse 35, sitting down. Mark 9:35, sitting down. Jesus called the 12. He asked them to huddle in. No one way back in the corners or standing in the door, coming close. And he says, anyone who wants to be number one, anyone who wants to be first must be what? Two things. Must be very last, and the servant of all. Something that interests me here is that Jesus does not criticize their desire for greatness. In this conversation and in no other conversation do I find Jesus saying, listen, you want to be great. You want your lives to count. You want your lives to matter. Bad instinct. I think it's hardwired in us to desire to excel, to desire to, and unless it gets killed off early in life, there's this desire to achieve, there's this desire to succeed at something. And so Jesus doesn't say, you're arguing about greatness, don't try to be great. He doesn't say that. What he does say is, I would like to show you the pathway to greatness. You're not keeping score in the right way. I want to teach you how to keep score based upon my family, based upon my way. So if you want to be great by doing, I will count you great by doing two things. Anyone who wants to be first must, and there were two things there, must be last and then be the servant of all. And by the servant of all, I don't think he means the servant of 5,642 people of all. I mean, from the top of the pecking order to the bottom of the pecking order. The servant of all. Being the servant of all is not just breadth, how many you serve, it's who you're willing to serve. See, what Jesus has just done is he's just flipped the entire deal. Because we can awaken in the morning saying, I want to be seen, I want to be invited, I want to be included, I want my life to count, I want my life to matter, I want people to see me of value. And Jesus flips it upside down and says, the mark of greatness is this: who do you see? And who do you invite? And who do you include? And who do you treat as valuable? Will you see people like I see them? Will you serve them like I serve them? And this, my friends, is about humble servanthood. When Jesus says must be last, he's talking about humility.